to our graphics team. They've done a phenomenal job here at Alexa. ये घूम के आ जाएगी and it will come and face itself right next to me and Shivani as we get you the numbers for 2019. ये आ गई यहाँ पर. Perfect. Now let's try and look at these numbers. 73 out of 80 seats in 2014. In 2019, that dropped to 64 out of 80 seats for the NDA. The INDI alliance, the UP के लड़के और भाई भतीजा और बुआ भतीजा, all of that did not work. 7 on 80 and 6 on 80. That's what they were able to return in 2014 and 2019. Will that shrink further in Uttar Pradesh this time around? Well, the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll says yes, it will shrink for the INDIA to just 3. Actually 2. 1 to the BSP because Buaji has decided to go on her own. And it will actually turn out to be a big, rich haul of 77 seats for the NDA at the Lok Sabha. In the UP Assembly, the trends have been upward. The trends have been steady and it's the Modi-Yogi factor that's worked for the NDA. Have a look at this number. 313 in 2017 and in 2022 it was 281. Will it go better this time around? Has Yogi ji only established himself a little more? The delivery of the Pradhan Mantri schemes, the central schemes, the welfare to the people on ground, has it been so significant that people who are at -5 have now come to 5? And is that a significant change itself in terms of ground up delivery? That's what's going to be important because UP is one of the states where the delivery of the central schemes has been accomplished to the maximum. Suffering for the opposition which rose from 47 to 113 in the Vidhan Sabha between 2017 to 2022, but at the Lok Sabha, it's not going to be a rich haul this time around. Shivani, more with you.
Yeah, so you take a look at these 3 regions of Uttar Pradesh. These are the regions of Purvanchal, Rohilkhand and West. Now, in these 3 regions alone are all of the 10 seats that the BSP won last time. The BSP and the SP fought together, and famously, the results showed that the SP vote transferred to the BSP, not so much the BSP to the SP, because the SP haul wasn't great. But all of these blue are the 10 BSP seats. This is where they won. These also include 4 of the INDA seats. Remember, it was the SP and the BSP, not the Congress together. But look at these regions where the BJP can gain. This is roughly 50 out of the 80 seats of Uttar Pradesh. So more than half. And the BJP won 35 of these. So they have massive gains to make here in this region. But for that, of course, this region that I have not highlighted is where they completely swept. So this is why, Anand, I said earlier as well, there is a huge scope for the BJP. Unlike what we've been saying that they've maxed out in Hindi heartland, actually they've got ground to cover or recover if they want to go back to 2014.
So they retain the shades, the non-shaded area, those seats they retain, and they have to gain at least 14 to 15 in these states.
West was such a big talking point last time around. That factor is not there anymore.
RLD is now part of the NDA.
NDA. And the BSP, the big story, Anand, emerging from Uttar Pradesh is what we saw in the last assembly elections. You pointed out the numbers. Actually, it was SP alone. SP showed a resurgence, emerging as the contender against the BJP for local UP politics. The BSP vote share, which has always been consistent between 18 to 20%, dipped. And the BSP have become a very muted factor, if at all. Always it was said that their voter is a silent voter, but it looks like that voter could desert Mayawati in the Lok Sabha elections.
What do the regions in the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll suggest? Is there a trend that suggests that yes, in Purvanchal and also in Western UP, that's where the NDA is likely to make the gains?
So this is our opinion poll numbers. This is broken down region-wise. And of course, you can see that the number of seats that the NDA is getting here, in Purvanchal,
29 out of 30.
29 out of 30. In Rohilkhand, 10 out of 10. In West, 9 out of 9. So this is the region where they're going to gain the most. This is the only possibility for them. The opinion polls certainly suggest they're bound to do so. As I mentioned, the BSP, the RLD factor, not there anymore. And possibly the SP Congress alliance also hasn't quite lit up the stage just yet in Uttar Pradesh.
True. So Azamgarh, the only seat in Purvanchal that looks like that the INDI alliance will retain because that's a Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh Yadav bastion. One seat for the BSP and 1 seat for the INDI alliance in some of the other regions towards the west. Otherwise, it's a sweep for the NDA. 77 seats is what they will return. Uttar Pradesh, is this going to be the story? Pallavi and Aman, we've got Javed Ansari ji staying on with us, Sanjeev Srivastava and B.S. Arun also with us, and Ratan Sharda ji also join us. Namaste and Jai Hind to everybody. Gentlemen, I'll come across to you with a quick word, after a quick word with Pallavi and Aman here in the studios. Yes, Pallavi. UP 15-seat gain possible? That means total diffusion of the Priyanka Rahul factor for the Congress party and also Akhilesh factor.
Well, I mean, the UP ke ladke narrative certainly didn't work. See, what happens is that from the point of view of the voter, it often leaves them confused when these kind of unlikely partners go into an alliance. Because one big challenge is that, at the top there may be agreements, but that may not percolate down to the ground. Many workers say in Amethi and Raebareli, for example, because I just went there recently, they said, we've always fought against, say, an SP, we have fought against the BSP. Today our workers, and actually more, to be very honest, more beyond Amethi and Raebareli in other areas, we have been at loggerheads, and suddenly now you're telling us to work together. So that partnership may be there at the top, but that partnership may not actually go down to where it matters the most, which is your party cadre. So that is something we saw in the case of UP ke ladke. As you pointed out, SP, BSP, it did not work. I'm very, very cynical about whether it's really going to work in UP with this SP and the Congress party come together. I mean, even in Amethi and Raebareli, look at the day when Rahul Gandhi turned up there and Akhilesh Yadav was supposed to join the Bharat Jodo Yatra. He didn't.
He didn't.
So you had, and I saw it, I can visualize it, I saw some SP flags there and suddenly they withdrew because there was this confusion. Because there were those SP workers saying, "Acha, hame jana hai ki nahi jana hai." That is a confusion which could work to the advantage of the BJP.
And why does the Congress cadre in Uttar Pradesh need the support of the Samajwadi Party despite the amount of work that they claim to have put in there to try and get that seat? Aman, the Labharti factor, delivery of the schemes in Uttar Pradesh, how critical will that be in this Modi Yogi combine? And there is also, of course, there is PM Modi factor when he is on the ticket, but there is also significant Yogi factor, and that law and order issue is another number that we will call out, ladies and gentlemen. That's significant in UP.
Anand, I think UP is one state of which the BJP is the most confident about. UP is a state where the BJP is looking at big gains. Some leaders are even telling me of a clean sweep. 80 out of 80 seats is possible. I would tell you there are only 3 seats which BJP sees as challenge in UP. Mainpuri, Sambhal and Raebareli. These are the 3 seats that BJP sees as a challenge. No other seat is unassailable for the BJP in UP right now. Of course, Mr. Modi contesting from Varanasi, Modi's popularity in UP is at an all-time high. That is coupled with the popularity of Yogi as the Chief Minister, who's returned BJP to power in the state for a historic second time. Plus, let us not forget the big event, the Ram Temple inauguration. The Pran Pratishthan of the Ram Temple is a big issue in UP right now. The people in UP, and we have travelled to the ground, me and Shivani recently, that is one issue that people in UP feel that, this is something that the government has delivered. And it's a huge emotive sentiment in UP, and BJP sees big gains from that. Labharti factor, of course, UP is one state, and the top people in the government in the center also feel that Yogi Adityanath is one chief minister who's completely modeled the the governance model of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. If somebody has implemented central schemes totally in a state like the center has, it is Uttar Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh is one state, they won 73 seats, the NDA, in 2014. That was under the leadership of Mr. Amit Shah when he was in charge of UP. They did drop to 64 in 2019, and that was because of the SP-BSP alliance. But Anand, even in 2019, some people were thinking that BJP will sink further because SP plus BSP is like RLD and JDU coming together in Bihar. But BJP still managed to retain its vote share at 164 seats. This time there is no alliance on the other side. The Congress-SP alliance is as good as no alliance.
Right.
I think the BJP is very confident they can win 77 to 78 seats in UP. That will be the big push they require for that 400 par for the NDA.
Well,